ایراد شرمن-نماینده کنگره آمریکا. من حامی اصلی دموکرات قطعنامه 100 مجلس نمایندگان هستم. این قطعنامه از خواست مردم ایران برای یک جمهوری دموکراتیک با جدایی دین و دولت و غیراتمی در ایران حمایت می کند.
در حالی که مردم ایران شجاعانه به مبارزه برای آزادی ادامه می‌دهند، کنگره و مردم آمریکا باید در حمایت از این مبارزه تزلزلی به خود راه ندهند. من همچنان در کنار شما خواهم ایستاد.
I'm pleased to once again join my good friends at the Free Iran World Conference as you come together to advocate for a free, democratic, and nuclear-free Iran. I've long been a vocal proponent of these efforts. That's why my colleague Tom McClintock and I, along with 160 members of the U.S. House of Representatives, reintroduced our resolution condemning the regime's horrific human rights abuses. I'm the chief Democratic sponsor of that resolution, House Resolution 100, which expresses support for the Iranian people's desire for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran. And that bipartisan resolution also condemns the violations of human rights and state-sponsored terrorism committed by the Iranian regime. We now have 238 bipartisan co-sponsors of that resolution. I join you today as the Iranian people continue their resistance against the brutal regime responsible for the murder of Mahsa Amini, as I have long joined with you to advocate for a free, democratic, and nuclear-free Iran. And I also stand with the brave Iranian women and men risking their lives to fight for the future in cities all across Iran. The regime's violent crackdown against protesters and anyone who dares dissent has led to the horrific killing of over 500 innocent protesters, many of whom were teenagers and even children. Tens of thousands have been arrested, and some have been sentenced to death. The regime's legacy of murdering dissidents is nothing new and has been used as a tactic for decades to stifle the Iranian people's desire to fight for freedom. The recent poisonings of schoolgirls inflicted even more suffering on the Iranian people. While it's not clear who or what was behind these terrible incidents, but the regime's violence will not undermine the resolve of the Iranian people to continue demanding their freedom and their basic dignity. Congress stands with these protesters who are inspiring the world with their bravery. We must also work with the government of Albania and the U.S. State Department to ensure the safety of the residents of Camp Ashraf. Our nation's diplomats were instrumental in bringing about the resettlement of Ashraf from Iran and Iraq to Albania, and we have a duty to ensure that those residents are secure. I share your dream of a free Iran, an Iran where the Iranian people can make their voices heard without the threat of imprisonment, torture, rape, and execution by an evil regime. As an Iran where women are free to choose how they dress and people are free to choose their own government. That's why for decades I've worked to sanction this brutal regime and its accomplices. As the Iranian people continue courageously to fight for their freedom, the United States Congress and the United States people must be unwavering in our support for their fight. I will continue to stand with you until the Iranian people can fulfill their right to freedom and democracy. Thank you.
آنتونیو لوپز استوریس وایت، نماینده پارلمان اروپا از اسپانیا. از این فرصت استفاده می کنم تا از مردم ایران و تلاش آنها برای یک جمهوری دموکراتیک با جدایی دین و دولت حمایت کنم.
Dear friends, thank you very much for the invitation to participate in this summit. I wanted to join this summit with a message of solidarity to my friends in the Iranian opposition and to the people of Iran who are watching. I am deeply moved by the courage and resilience of the Iranian opposition. I have met Mrs. Rajavi several times and we welcomed her to the European Parliament last month. So I'm fully aware of the work of the NCRI, advocating for freedom, democracy, and human rights for the people of Iran. I have also been informed of the 10-point plan for a free Iran, which I support. I have been recently added to the Iranian regime's list of sanctioned MEPs. This is my badge of honor, alongside with my colleagues who have been vocal against the Tehran regime. This shows that the Friends of the Free Iran and our activities at the European Parliament have been effective. We at the European Parliament have strongly voted for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to be sanctioned, and now it is up to the international community to follow. There is abundant evidence available to designate the IRGC as a terrorist organization, and nothing can justify why it has not been done yet. The Iranian regime has been engaging in a violent crackdown on peaceful protests, has arrested thousands of people, and has executed hundreds in recent months. The execution spree ongoing today is unacceptable. Over 200 executions in the last 3 months. These human rights abuses must stop, and we must stand with the Iranian people in their struggle for justice and freedom. So let me use this opportunity to join the other guests to support the Iranian people and the alternative in their quest for a democratic and secular republic. The Iranian people have shown that they will not be silenced or intimidated, and we must show them that they are not alone in their fight for a better future. Thank you, and let's continue working together.
رادکا ماکسووا، نماینده پارلمان اروپا از جمهوری چک. نقش شکوهمند زنان در رهبری اعتراضات و سرپیچی از سویت و بی‌عدالتی رژیم قابل ستایش است. زنان ایرانی دیکتاتوری مذهبی را به چالش کشیدند و به مدت بیش از 4 دهه در خط مقدم مبارزه برای آزادی بودند. خانم رجوی، شما با رهبریتان در مبارزه برای یک ایران آزاد توانستید نقشی قدرتمند و پیشتاز به زنان در مقاومت ایران بدهید. شعار شما نه به حجاب اجباری، نه به دین اجباری، نه به حکومت اجباری بوده است و این همان چیزی است که زنان و مردم ایران می‌خواهند و ما در پارلمان اروپا از این فراخوان حمایت می‌کنیم.
Dear colleagues, it is a great pleasure to join your virtually for the Free Iran Summit. I am sending you this message to express my solidarity with you. Dear Mrs. Rajavi, it was a great pleasure to welcome you to the European Parliament in May. As a Vice Chair of the Committee on Women's Rights and Gender Equality, I would like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to over 80 women who were killed during the recent uprising in Iran, and so salutate all the women and girls who have been executed in the last 44 years in Iran. I would like to also extend my solidarity with all the grieving mothers in Iran. What was witnessed in the last months, the magnificent role of women leading protests and defying the regime's brutality and injustice is commendable. Let's not forget that Iranian women have been defying religious dictatorship and have been in the front line of the struggle for freedom for over 4 decades. Thousands of women of the Iranian resistance have sacrificed their lives and were executed. Mrs. Rajavi, I commend you for your leadership in your struggle for a free Iran. You were able to give a powerful and leading role to women in the Iranian resistance, and this is very impressive. Your slogan has been, no to compulsory hijab, no to compulsory religion, not to compulsory government, and this is what the women and people of Iran want. And we in the European Parliament support this call, and we will continue to do so. Thank you.